Right, folks, the theatre and television community lost one of their brightest and talented actors last Thursday. With me now to speak about the man who played the character Mr. Upton on the popular hit show Lime Tree Lane is actor, playwright Dorothy Cunningham on the phone and actor-comedian Christopher Johnny Daly on Zoom. Good morning to you both. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Morning.
Dorothy, let me start with you. I think you were telling me that you did pantomime with him before anything else. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. And we had a lot of fun doing that LTM pantomime. Clive was great. People don't know he could sing. Neville, I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Before you talk to me about what kind of actor he was, what kind of person was he?
He was a very quiet person. Most of the time, he had a sense of humor, but he was also a very private person and a very quiet person. So, people, depending on where you saw him and at what point you knew him, people got different impressions of what Clive Duncan was.
Okay. And Johnny, when you met him as a young boy, what kind of impression did you get?
You know, I told Audrey Reed recently in a conversation that I actually thought that Clive was a district constable when I met him, because he was always so neatly dressed and put together, much like Drapus was. So I thought he was a policeman for quite some time, and then I realized he wasn't. So he was. There's something about Clive that you remember always was his smile. He had this very warm, big, broad smile that he just carried with him everywhere.
Yeah. When you came in again as a younger person, what kind of person was he for you? Did he kind of say he was a little boy I could sit down at the corner? Was he helping? What kind of person was he for you?
Yeah, very, very kind, warm-hearted. Clive, like many others on Lime Tree Lane, was a guide for me and kind of a mentor kind of figure. He was very quiet, not want to take the lead in some things, but he certainly was his personality was his own, and I could understand who he was. But he would definitely be warm to me and very welcoming as an older man to a youth, you know.
Yeah, Dorothy, you would have worked with many actors. What kind of actor was he? Did he get really involved in his roles? Was he a laid-back person? Was he an aggressive actor? What kind of actor was he?
A very supportive actor. He didn't try to steal the limelight. He was very concentrated on whatever he was doing. He focused and he took it serious. He didn't fool around with it. He was very talented. I don't think people realize how talented Clive Duncan was.
When you say we didn't realize how talented, why? You don't think he got the ratings that he deserved?
I don't think he got the ratings that he deserved. And maybe it's because he was seen as a comedic actor, because he was far deeper than that. He had what I saw him do in Boiling Points as that husband who could not have a child, or whose wife could not have a child, showed me that he had a greater depth that we always thought Clive was capable of, because the range of emotions that he went through, was amazing. But he was a very quiet person. He didn't push himself. He wasn't a pushy kind of person. So maybe that is why he never got offered more serious roles.
Yeah. John, you agree with that? That never rate him?
Neville, if I may, when Clive was very, very extremely talented. One of the things I spent my time doing in my teenage years was to look back at some of the work that my local actors were doing. And one of the things I recognized about Clive was he was a very good character actor. He played from a policeman in Roots Theatre who was kind of off the cuff to a serious father figure in Dorothy's production. But right through that, he gave 100%. I mean, Clive was always 100% committed to his roles. And if you look back at some of his plays, you'll understand what I mean when I say that.
Yeah. If I asked you one thing that you would remember about Clive as opposed to the other actors who you've worked with, what would you say?
I remember there's a decency about Clive. There's a warmth and his decency. he was just a really genteel person. That's the thing I carry with me about Clive.
Yeah.
Very, very, he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
I've never heard the man curse or put down anybody. He was very much a caring, genteel person.
Yeah. Same question to you, Dorothy. What will you remember about Clive Duncan?
I remember his humility and his caring. He was a very caring person for not just actors but for everybody, and particularly for his family. He was a family man, and when you hear Clive talk about his children and their achievements and what was happening with them, you knew that he had a great love for his family, but he also cared for people, and he was not averse to correcting me at times. He said, "Dorothy, really now, that said it, But he was genuine. He was a genuine man.
All right. Thank you so much. But before you go, let me go back to the young boy. I know nothing's been happening, and I know you have phased reopening. What's going on with you, Johnny? What's the next thing we can think of? What's been happening quickly with you guys?
What's coming up is Johnny's Place. We've fought a good fight in terms of sticking around throughout this entire pandemic. Johnny's Place is actually a theater space, and I'm very proud that I'm able to open that space at this time. One of the things Dorothy and I discussed was to actually do a show there, the first show in memory of Clive Duncan, so we can honor Clive and his contribution to theater and have the theater community celebrate his life there. So Johnny's Place is at 35 Dunrobin Avenue, and we're looking forward to putting in great productions in there, from plays to stand-up comedy, events, online and live. And we're working to ensure that we'll continue to educate and entertain people from that space. Never before I go, one of the things somebody posted under one of my tributes to Clive online was that before Lime Lane, before he left St. Mary, one of the things he used to do was to go around and play music for anybody in the community. And he always told people that he was going to be a star. And Clive became a star. And so that alone tells you something about the measure of the man. And he was not just an actor, he was also a financier. Somebody who was involved heavily in guiding people's financial lives through insurance. And that tells you much about who he was.
Thanks, Johnny. Dorothy, what about you? What's going on with you?
I'm just taking it COVID casual.
All right. I suspect sooner than later we will see a play regarding all of this, I'm sure, won't we?
So sooner than later, fingers crossed. All things being equal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks to you both. And again, condolences to you guys. I know you've lost a friend.
Thanks much. I hope the morning face didn't throw people off too much, but this is pretty early for me never.
All right. Go back to sleep, my virgin. It's all right. All right. Dorothy Cunningham, actor, playwright, and actor, comedian, Christopher Johnny Daly, and remembering Clive Drapus Duncan. And good news, as you heard from Johnny, that he's opening up a place for maybe lots of folks can work